Have you ever noticed how some family conflicts don't just fade away with time, but instead grow deeper, more complicated, and far more public than anyone ever expected? That is exactly the kind of picture emerging once again around Prince Harry and the royal family, as new reports and commentary continue to reignite discussion about whether any real reconciliation is still possible between him and Prince William. For years, observers have suggested that if there was ever a person capable of calming tensions within the family, it would have been Catherine, Princess of Wales. She was widely regarded as someone who valued stability, avoided unnecessary conflict, and quietly supported efforts to maintain unity behind the scenes. Yet according to recent commentary, even that role appears to have changed over time, as repeated public revelations, interviews, books, and media projects gradually reshape relationships that were already under pressure. What once may have been seen as private disagreements between brothers has now become a long-running public narrative, discussed and debated across the world. Some royal commentators suggest that Catherine once held hope that the relationship could be repaired, but now appears focused entirely on her immediate family and personal priorities, stepping away from any expectation of acting as a bridge between the two sides. At the same time, Prince William is widely described as deeply protective of his wife and children, and several reports indicate that certain public claims and portrayals created lasting emotional distance that has been difficult to reverse. Meanwhile, attention within royal circles is increasingly shifting towards the next generation. Prince George, as the future king, is gradually becoming a central figure in public interest. Each appearance he makes draws significant attention, not because of controversy, but because of what he represents: continuity, stability, and the future of a monarchy. Royal commentators have noted that even years ago, there was an understanding that as George grew older, the focus of public attention would naturally move towards him and his generation. Today, that prediction is clearly becoming reality. As he matures, public appearances alongside his parent highlight the steady preparation being made for his future role, and many observers view this as a symbol of the monarchy's long-term direction. In contrast, Harry's position within the wider royal narrative has become increasingly complex. Once seen as one of the most popular and relatable members of the royal family, admired for his military service and charitable involvement, his public image has shifted significantly over recent years. Instead of being defined primarily by public duty, he is now more often associated with ongoing disputes, media commentary, and personal reflections on past events. Critics argue that this focus has overshadowed the broader charitable and public work he once represented, while supporters insist that he has simply chosen to speak openly about his experiences and personal truth. Regardless of perspective, the divide in perception is clear, and it continues to shape how his role is viewed globally. At the same time, the distance between the two brothers appears more evident than ever. Family occasions that once brought them together are now surrounded by speculation, with every absence analyzed and every appearance scrutinized. Royal watchers often interpret these moments as indicators of deeper tensions, although official statements remain minimal or non-existent. What is clear, however, is that their lives have moved in increasingly different directions. Prince William appears firmly focused on his future responsibilities, his role within the institution, and preparing his children for what lies ahead. His approach is often described as steady, disciplined, and centered on duty. Prince Harry, on the other hand, is frequently portrayed as still navigating the consequences of decisions made in recent years, reflecting on the past while attempting to build a separate identity outside the traditional royal framework. This contrast and direction has become one of the defining features of their relationship today, and it continues to fuel speculation about whether reconciliation is realistic or whether the divide has become permanent. Beyond the family dynamics, attention also remains on Harry and Meghan's life outside the royal family. When they stepped back from official duties, there was immense global interest in their next chapter. Media organizations, streaming platforms, and publishers all competed to share in their story, and for a time, it appeared they would establish a powerful new independent platform. However, sustaining long-term public attention has proven to be far more challenging than initial expectations suggested. The media landscape moves quickly, and public focus shifts from one story to another with remarkable speed. As a result, discussions around their current position increasingly revolve around what comes next rather than what has already taken place. Questions are now being asked about long-term direction, purpose, and sustainability in a highly competitive public space where attention is never guaranteed. Within all of this, one central question continues to dominate royal commentary. Is reconciliation still possible, or has too much happened for trust to be rebuilt? History shows that families can sometimes recover from deep conflict over time, but such outcomes require consistent effort, mutual understanding, and a shared willingness to move forward. At present, many observers feel those conditions are not clearly visible. Instead, what remains is a picture of separation, differing priorities, and unresolved history that continues to shape public perception. Even so, the story is not necessarily concluded. Family relationships are rarely static, and circumstances can change in ways that are not always predictable. For now, however, the situation appears defined more by distance and connection, more by silence and communication, and more by separate paths and shared direction. As public interest remains high, this story continues to attract global attention, with audiences closely watching for any sign of change, however small. Whether the future brings reconciliation or continued separation remains uncertain, but what is clear is that this chapter in royal history continues to unfold in real time. If you followed this story, make sure to subscribe for more updates and analysis, and share your thought below because this is one royal debate that shows no sign of disappearing anytime soon.